They called them the King's African Rifles, but their story didn't start in Burma's jungles or Ethiopia's highlands. It began in 1902, when Britain created a colonial regiment from the protectorates of East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Nyasaland, and Tanganyika. Some men joined for steady pay. Others sought adventure. Many were recruited under the shadow of colonial authority. They spoke different languages, came from different tribes, but once they wore the uniform, they marched as one. In World War I, they fought in the German East Africa campaign. There were no trenches, only endless marches through swamps, savannas and mountains, chasing the elusive German commander Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck. Malaria and hunger claimed more lives than bullets, but the KAR fought on, capturing towns, cutting supply lines, and forcing the Germans into a war of exhaustion. 2 decades later, the world was at war again. In World War II, the King's African Rifles were called once more. They battled Mussolini's Italian army in Ethiopia, winning Moyal, Jijiga, and helping to free an entire nation from occupation. But their toughest challenge came in the steaming jungles of Burma. The Japanese were fierce, skilled, and undefeated in the terrain. The KAR adapted, moving silently, striking quickly, enduring conditions that broke many other units. Men like Sergeant Major Charles Muhoro, who led his platoon through knee-deep mud under fire to seize a critical ridge. Private Said Mohammed, who carried ammunition across sniper-covered clearings 3 times in one battle, keeping his unit alive when defeat seemed certain. In Burma, they became a force the Japanese feared, pushing them back in battle after battle until victory was achieved. By the end of the war, the King's African Rifles had earned hundreds of decorations, distinguished conduct medals, military medals, mentions in dispatches. But when they returned home, no parades, no heroes welcome. In the colonial system, their courage was quietly filed away. And yet, their brothers remembered. They remembered the marches through the highlands, the nights in the monsoon rain, the friends who never returned. They remembered standing their ground, not for land that treated them as equals, but for the men beside them, and the hope of a better future. Today, their graves are scattered across Africa and Asia. Their names etched on small memorials in towns most of the world will never see, but their story, like their spirit, still endures. Victory in 2 world wars wasn't achieved by a single